vacuum packed. My peanuts come alive when you open that sack.
Alright guys, you found yourself in the strange section of YouTube once again. I'm going to call this little series, I have no intentions of making other videos like this, but I'm sure they'll pop up in the future. That's why I'm starting a series kind of title thing. It's called Strange Thoughts. We go through life and we take a lot of things for granted. And occasionally I'll stop and I'll look at something and I'll have strange thoughts. So I'm sure anyone who enjoys storytime videos will certainly enjoy this. But today's topic, the peanut. Yeah, in an effort to eat better, which I've been doing for a long time now, nuts are a great source of protein and some good fats and so forth, so I make them part of my diet. If I have a little snack or something, I like to have a little bit of protein with that snack, so if I'm having like a light lunch or something, maybe some tuna fish, on some salad or a yogurt or something, I always have a couple nuts just with it on the side. And I usually stick with almonds, just plain old almonds, no flavoring, no additives or anything like that. But I decided to change it up a little bit. Besides almonds, I also like pistachios. Now, I always like pistachios not because it's just a delicious nut, but because you have to work at them. I don't get the already shelled pistachios. I get them in the shell, and it's a pain in the butt, taking the shell off. But it's great because it makes you work for the food. Okay, just like these peanuts, you have to take them out of the shell. It makes you work for the nut. Okay, this is about as much hunting and gathering most people will do in their entire life. And half of those people will look at this and go, nah, that's too hard. Give me the already, sack of nuts ready to go. Sack of nuts? No. No, thank you. I meant like satchel. Not that anyone carries around a satchel of nuts. I don't know where that's going. Bag, container, whatever. You guys are so immature. Anyway, yeah, you have to work at it a little bit. So in theory, you don't eat as much. Instead of grabbing a handful of peanuts or a handful of pistachios and just, scoffing them down like crazy, because you can get into some trouble as far as, taking in too many calories or too much crap. You want to, limit the intake on nuts. Ha ha ha, yes. So anyway, I like working at it. So pistachios in the shell are cool. And I haven't had a peanut in the shell in like a really, really long time. So I bought a big bag of them. They're super cheap. And I've been eating these lately. And just today, I was looking at this and I was just having strange thoughts, which I often do. I have strange thoughts every single day of my life. But I was looking at this peanut and it brought up a lot of questions, a lot of concern. I was thinking about, again, how our youth these days, and when I'm speaking to youth, I'm specifically talking about really young kids now, not teenagers so much, but like the average 5th or 6-year-old kid, way past like being able to talk, going to school, functioning, but being a kid. And I think kids these days are more mature, but not mature. It's strange. Like a 5 or 6-year-old kid 20 years ago was like a 5 or 6-year-old kid, but now they're like more of a functional level of, say, like a 10-year-old. You see like 4 and 5-year-old kids like cruising the internet. When I was growing up, and that wasn't that long ago, 4 or 5-year-old kids were being 4 and 5-year-old kids, being dopey, playing around, playing with sticks, swinging them around. Now they got like their, glasses on and they're, reading documentaries and stuff. They're just growing up way too fast. They can't be kids anymore. But I was thinking, how many kids right now you could put this in their hand and say, what is that? And they would go, I don't know. That's pretty sad. I think there's a lot of kids out there who just don't know what a peanut is when it's in the shell. If you hand them just the nut itself, they might say, yeah, that's a peanut. But I don't think they've been exposed to something so simple as a peanut in its shell. And then I got really thinking about peanuts. Why? Because there's really no reason to go in depth and detail about a peanut. This is what makes me strange, what makes some people strange, but in a good way. Most people take this for granted. What is that? Oh, it's a peanut in the shell. All right, cool. Pop it open, eat it, move on with their life, right? Not me. I bask in the beauty of the peanut. I question the peanut. Who are you? Where did you come from? Do you guys know peanuts grow on the ground? Some of you know that. A lot of you younger kids don't. Well, there you go. Peanuts grow underground. They grow off the roots. Do you know what a peanut plant looks like? I didn't until I looked it up. I always knew they grew on the ground, but I had no idea what the leaves of a peanut plant looks like. I didn't know where they were grown. So I Googled it. Did you ever find doing something like that where you're Googling something so simple, but like you might be embarrassed to like ask anyone about that? You know, it's something so stupid. And you're like, you don't want to ask anyone because they're going to go, what are you, a moron? But those people usually don't know anyway. So you'll find yourself on doing the Google and typing in weird things, you know, because you're just curious about it. And I'm sure the government keeps track of all that. There's some guy somewhere, you know, in the world going, uh-oh. You know, Steve told us about that guy cutlerylover on YouTube with all the weapons. Well, he just Googled peanuts. He's up to something. I'm sure there's some kind of conspiracy out there. Now they're going to be watching me extra careful. But anyway, yeah, I Googled it, and I found a Wikipedia page on the peanut, which I'm sure is not super popular, but maybe it is. I don't know. And I learned what the plant looked like. I learned that the majority of peanuts, like 14% of peanut production in the world, comes from China. Did you know that? There's a good chance if you're eating peanuts in the shell, or any peanuts for that matter, it probably came from China. 14% doesn't seem like a lot, but it's more than any other country in the world. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Not a lot of people would know what this is. Young people. That is so sad to me. It really is. I saw a thing with Jamie Oliver. He had that show, the cook Jamie Oliver, and he had the show doing something with like kids in cafeterias. It was basically educating kids like what's in a chicken nugget and all these gross little things, like, you know, how the filler, the pink slime, I don't know if you ever heard about that, but, you know, in a lot of ground beef and stuff, they use this filler. Basically, they blow out all the little bits of meat and all the nasty parts of the animal, and it's so filled with bacteria that they have to wash it. So they wash it with ammonia. And like, no one knows this, you know, mechanically separated chickens, all that kind of crap. That's basically what it is. But they wash all these little bits and they use this paste, like up to 15% of it in our meat. And like, he educates the gross parts of food that people don't know. You know, a lot of parents, their kids go to school and eat their school lunch, and they don't know what's going on. They just figure out, you know, it's school lunch, it must be good. It's actually a really interesting show. I don't know why I was even discussing it. That's how short my attention span is. I don't know why I brought that up. There must be a reason. Peanuts, cafeteria food. What was I talking about? Telling you, strange thoughts. I know I was going somewhere with that, but anyway. Let's see, Jamie Oliver. Oh yeah, that's where it was going. Yeah, there's one episode where he basically set up a bunch of fruits and vegetables and took kids out of a classroom in like a city school. And they just, you know, and I'm talking like 10, 11-year-old kids, and he had like a bunch of fruits and vegetables, and he asked kids randomly, he held a fruit or vegetable up and said, what is this? And there's a kid, like maybe 11 or 12 years old, and he held up a tomato and said, what is this? And the kid said it was an apple or something like that. I forget the exact specifics, but I didn't know what a tomato was, you know? And it's like, wow, really? Or a potato? It was something like that. And it's shocking to know that a lot of these kids, they grow up and they're not exposed to the very simple things in life, and things are taken for granted. You know, this little thing that grew underneath the ground off of a root is ground up to make peanut butter. You know, how many millions of kids eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? You know, they don't know where it comes from. They don't question it. It's just, hey, mom made the sandwich. Ooh, I like this stuff. It's kind of good. That's it. That's the extent of wanting to know what they're eating. And then I had another strange thought about peanuts, and I thought, who in the history of people saw this? Who saw a plant, dug up the plant, and most likely, like, you're talking caveman or very early man, you know, but picked up a plant, said, ooh, what's that big fat thing hanging off the bottom? Let me, let me try to eat that, you know? How many people died eating random plants to figure out what's edible and what's not? And then you found the peanut. Who thought to, well, doesn't taste that good, so let's dry it out. And then I'm sure a lot of people just ate the whole thing for a while until they realized, well, the shell's not so good. That's not good for me. That kind of hurts when I get rid of it. So let's just eat the part in the middle, but we have to cook it. Who like, think about the process of all the early man who had to go through all this trial and error, all this sickness and grossness and illness and disease and death from eating crap that's not edible, just to figure out for today that, yeah, this is a peanut. Who named it the peanut? Why is it called a peanut? It's so strange to me. Who thought that let's squish these And we'll use the oil that comes out of it to fry stuff, because that'll work very effective. Real high, burn temperature on that. Yeah, peanut oil. Good stuff. Who thought of this crap? Think of all the trial and error over the years. The many, many, many years. Millions. Well, not millions, but at least hundreds or thousands of years, maybe. I don't know. I didn't research that much about the peanut. I don't know when it first came into existence. Actually, here, I have the I don't know why I keep saying Wikipedia. It's a Wikipedia. I got the page up right here. The peanut or groundnut. I guarantee if you give this to a kid and say, here's a groundnut, try it, they're not going to realize it's a peanut. They're going to go, what's a groundnut? The peanut was probably, because I guess there's no real way of knowing, first cultivated in the valleys of Peru. Did you know that? I had no idea. Plants growing 30 to 50 centimeters or 1 to 1.5 feet tall. The leaves are opposite, blah, blah, blah. Pods are 3 to 7 centimeters across, containing 1 to 4 seeds. So each pod can have 1 to 4 peanuts in it. Sometimes I'll have the bag here, but sometimes you'll have just 1 peanut. Most of them are 2. And then you crack open the shell. If you can find the sweet spot, it won't make a huge mess, and it'll just crack into 2 pieces. Which I didn't find the sweet spot, and it's making a huge mess. And yeah, there you go. Here's one side, minus the shell. Delicious. Somehow tastier than when you take them out of a can. Probably because of all the effort that I put into obtaining the nut from the shell. Rescuing the meat from that horrible shell that no one wants to eat. Yeah, these are my strange thoughts that I have quite often. I question everything. Everything around me. Where did it come from? Who discovered? Who said you can do this? Think about like kids. All the stuff we eat growing up. We don't know if it's good or bad. It's just, hey, mom or dad said, here, eat this. So we ate it. We don't question it. We don't know why we do certain rituals. Why do we put socks on our feet? Why don't we, why do we do this? Why do we do that? It's just strange to me. I had some strange thoughts today about the peanuts. Peanuts, not penis. I got to talk carefully here. All the funny people are going to comment. So did he say penis at 5 minutes and whatever? cutlerylover said penis. So yeah, peanuts. 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 It's becoming one of those words. Peanuts. 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 Keep saying it over and over again. It's not going to sound like a real word anymore. Peanuts. Say that like 100 times. It's going to be like, what? What am I talking about? What's a peanut? Yeah. And like I read, I think it was in the Anarchist Cookbook, you can smoke peanut shells and get high. Why? Why would you do that? That's like, some of the frogs, you lick a frog and like some of them secrete a poison that makes you hallucinate. Who randomly picked up a frog and licked it and went, oh, awesome, this is going to get me high? How many frogs or animals did they lick before they realized that the frogs are the one that, or I think it's toads or something, a certain type of toad. They secrete this poison for like if animals go to bite it, and it basically makes the animal hallucinate so they can escape. That's like their defense mechanism. But, if the toxins get into a human body, it makes you hallucinate, therefore you get high, blah, blah, blah. Who discovered that crap? What strange redneck inbred hillbilly started randomly licking animals to find out what's going to get them high? That's good stuff. Look at this massive, you can't see it. All this massive shells and crapola. All for one little peanut. So, yes, my life is just full of strange thoughts. I thought I'd share them. I'm having the thoughts anyway. Why not turn a camera on and talk about them so everyone can realize how strange I really am? Question things. That's the best thing you can do in life, is just question everything, take nothing for granted. Learn about the world around you and enjoy it. Thinking about that peanut today, it made me enjoy it that much more. It was that much tastier. I know I tricked my brain into thinking it was tastier, but because I started learning more about it, because I peeled it out of the shell myself, saw its, where it originated, it tasted amazing. as opposed to just popping a cap off of a canister and just popping a bunch in your mouth and going, yeah, peanuts, whatever. Enjoy the little things in life. There's lots of them. Lots of little things you can enjoy and learn about. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Doesn't matter how old you are or where you are. Someone's willing to answer them. You know, if you don't want to talk to a person because you're too embarrassed because you think your question's too stupid, look it up. Lots of people do it. We all do it. We don't all admit it, but there's lots of stupid things we look up all the time because we don't understand it. You know, there's a group of people talking about something, and you're like, ah, yeah, just laughing with them, and then you're going, write a little note. I gotta look that up later. I don't know what I was laughing at. Don't be embarrassed. Life is too short for silly stuff like that. Hope you enjoyed my little strange talk and strange thoughts about peanuts that veered off into all kinds of crap. But yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Certainly was a strange one. But anyway, occasionally I'll do this if I have another strange thought. But I was just thinking about it, you know, where peanuts come from and all that other stuff. So thanks for bearing with me. I am a strange character. But anyway, that's all. So this is the end of the video now. This is where it stops. It's sad, isn't it? You know, sometimes I watch a video and it's someone I really like, and I'm watching that little red bar, and it's creeping up towards the end. I'm like, oh no, no, just talk a little bit more. No, please, just a little bit more. Video's over. You don't know when they're gonna make another video. It's like I don't know. Every time certain people who I really like watching, as you know, I open my subscription box daily because I check YouTube every day. And like certain people post certain videos, and I'll go, oh yeah, can't wait, awesome! I can't wait to watch that one. And I'll save it. I'll watch like the somewhat less important videos, and I'll kind of skip through them a little bit. And I'm anticipating that awesome video. Then I watch it, and it's awesome. I'm like, that's cool. And it's all over with. And I'm like, all right, we'll do that again tomorrow. That was fun. So yeah, I'm giving you a little peek into my brain and my thoughts, and it's a scary place sometimes. It is a dark, dreary, weird, very mystical place, but whimsical sometimes as well. It depends on what part of the brain you're looking at. Anyway, that's all. I really will end the video here before you guys think that I'm completely insane, because I'm not. I'm goofy, I'm fun. This is part of just loving life and all the little things in it, and just enjoy yourself. Don't worry about what people think. You know, a lot of people wouldn't make a video like this because they think, oh man, people are going to think I'm stupid, or you know, I have problems, or I'm, you know, ill. Who cares? I'm being myself, you know? I've grown comfortable enough with you guys and the internet in general, and with strangers in general, where, you know what, I'm just going to be myself. You don't have to like it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed a little bit of myself, and I will see you soon in another video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.